Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Dan Cave and welcome to August 2023 on the bench. So, first things first, apology for no update last month. It would have been very, very short because not very much happened. So, I delayed it and basically it's been 2 months since the last update. So, not that this one's going to be particularly long either, because again, not a huge amount's been going on. Kind of gotten into the summer period through June and July, and through some holiday time and some other stuff that's ongoing. Not a huge amount of bench time's been available to me. It has been a little bit. There's been a little bit of progress. There's been a kit completed. There is something in progress as well, which we'll get to, and then yeah, we'll cover that in the various sections. So I think I've just told you what we're going to do. So yeah, so generally I've not been at the bench that much. Work's been busy. Boo-hoo, poor me. Yeah, work's been busy. I had a little bit of time away in June. I was away on holiday for a bit. I was away with work again. And then kind of got into middle of June into July, and then I decided to start doing some work on the garden because it was in desperate need of attention, and we'll have a look at that garden project a little bit later on. So yeah, so all in all, like most of the months this year so far, bench time's been somewhat limited, but I've made the best of it. Managed to get one kit complete, and I'm well in progress on another kit, which we'll go and have a look at when we go to the overhead stuff. So there you go. That's the intro bit done. So let's head on over to the bench and let's start with what's been finished. So yeah, head on over. So the first and only thing that's been finished has been this. So this is the 24th scale Tamiya Toyota Celica GT4 in the wonderful Castrol scheme. So this was done for the budget group build over at ISM, and it's a kit I've wanted to go back and rebuild for many years, because I built it years ago. I believe I actually brush painted the one I built years ago. Sadly it's binned. I would have liked to have both of them to show them side by side, to show I don't know how little progress my modelling skills have made. No, to show how much progress I have made over the years in terms of techniques and stuff. But yeah, this is an absolute bargain of a kit from Tamiya. Can be gotten for 20 odd pounds in the UK. And yeah, it's just a good build. Plenty of detail. There's a few areas which are, the interiors, a lot of moulded in parts rather than kind of things like separate fire extinguisher, stuff like that. A lot of it's moulded in. But however, it was a really enjoyable build. So it's primed in EUMP white. Base coat then of Tamiya TS26 decanted. The decals were then applied. That's the one kind of weak area I think of this kit, is the Tamiya decals, because they're Tamiya's own decals. So they are a bit of a struggle. They don't conform brilliantly. They have a habit of breaking as well. So there are a few areas where I've had to touch up some of the paint where the decals have broken a little bit. And then once that was set, Pro Scale 2K. Once cured, flat and polished back, and that was the body work done. So chassis and running gear, fairly basic build, painted white, kind of all the usual stuff. So yeah, so reasonably pleased with the outcome of this. I think in the midst of doing it, I was a little bit kind of mojo-less, shall we say. And that maybe is reflected in some of the parts of the build that maybe didn't come out as perfectly as I would have wanted. But generally, very happy with how it's come out. So that is what's been built. So The only other kit that's been finished is the big 1/8 scale Trans Am, but that's for a magazine, so I can't show yet. But it is finished. So there we go. So let's have a look at what's in progress. So in progress, excuse the rustling, in progress has been the Hasegawa Lancia Stratos in 24th scale. So I've got a bunch of bits. So at this stage, so the bodywork is completed. It's been primed, painted, deckled, 2K'd, done with gravity 2K this time because I've run out of pro scale, and I had lots of gravity 2K anyway, but gravity 2K is very good as well. So bodywork has actually been flat and polished as well, so that's pretty much ready for masking for window trims. The chassis and interior are pretty much done. Fairly basic curbside, kind of simulated bits of engine detail that'll be visible when the rear is mounted. But yeah, overall kind of happy with the progress being made on this kit, and it is getting quite close to the end. So one of the challenging bits of this kit, and maybe we'll have a look. Yeah, we'll have a look at some photos of it. So one of the challenging bits of this kit has been the paint scheme. So initially everything was primed in UMP white. That all went down absolutely fine. Happy with how that came out. And then it was a case of lots of masking. Well, actually, yeah, lots of masking because... No, I'll restart again. Yeah, so after the white, there was then some Tamiya TS26 on a few parts. Mainly around the kind of bonnet area and around the 3/4 rear kind of B and C pillar area. So then those areas needed to be masked up because they were going to stay white. Then the rest of the body was painted with yellow, and that came from Zero Paints with a specific yellow for this paint scheme. So then those yellow areas were then masked, and then blue was added to those areas. Now, the really challenging bit was that with this was there was a mixture of white and blue decals in the scheme, which, you know, theoretically is fine. However, white decals going over yellow is always a recipe for kind of a bit of a challenge. And as you can see in this photo, the white painted bit on the bonnet versus the white decal on the roof and the tail lid are not quite the same white. And I did contemplate kind of masking all of the decaled areas and just painting everything, but some of the shapes are reasonably complex, and I kind of thought I'm more likely to have problems with kind of paint bleed or not quite getting the decals matching, so I kind of went with using the kit decals. And as you can see a little bit as well, there is a slight tonal difference between the blue of the decal and the blue of the paint. It's not catastrophic, but it's not great. But nonetheless, I've enjoyed what I've done with this kit so far. I think now it's 2K'd. I think it looks considerably better. I think it's fair to say. You can still see the difference between the blue and the white, which is a little bit, sorry, between the two shades of blue. The whites are a little bit different, but you know what? I can live with that. I can live with that. I'm reasonably happy. I found this kit a little bit more of a enjoyable kit to build, and I think the mojo's kind of coming back compared to what I was thinking when I did the Celica. That's pretty much it. That's all for in progress. So let's go back to me for some other thoughts and ramblings. Yeah, let's go back to me. So there you go. That's what's been finished and what's in progress. Obviously, I didn't mention the BF 109, which is still in progress. I've not gone back to that. I don't know why. Kind of lost a little bit of interest in it. I will get back to it. I think the lack of bench time has meant I've just not taken it out of the box. I've been looking for things when I have had bench time that have really kind of drawn my attention. The 109 wasn't one of them. So plans going forward, obviously finish the Lancia, which I showed you. I need to do the write-up of the Behemoth 1/8 Trans Am that's up in the corner, because that is finished, of course, as I mentioned. Obviously, I'm not going to show any pictures of that yet, because that is magazine build for Phoenix scale modelling. That took way too much time to get through, but you know, that's the way things go sometimes, so not worried about it. It is what it is. It is done. Is it perfect? No. Are any of my models perfect? No. Could I have done a better job with it? Yeah, there's a few things I'm probably not 100% pleased with, but you know, that's just the way things go. So that is that's built and in progress. So plans moving forward, as I said, finish the Lancia. I'm not really going to make any decisions on what's next. I'll be honest, I've really enjoyed doing the Lancia. I think rally cars are definitely coming back to me again. I do want to go back and do some of the another F1 car. I do want to go back and do another Le Mans car. So as always, there's plenty of choice and there's plenty of options, and you can't see it from where you're sat, but from where I sat, if I look up, I can see the stash of kits that I've got. So yes, there's plenty to choose from. It's like going into a good hobby store, and so when I finish the Lancia, I'll go pick something else. So there we have it. So no fixed plans beyond that. So, as I mentioned earlier, the garden's been under a little bit of renovation work, so I put together a very quick clip, just what I've been doing in the garden, which mainly consists of digging stuff up, moving it, digging a hole, filling the hole back in, putting some more stuff on top of it, moving some paving stones around, relaying a patio, digging more holes, moving some more dirt. Whilst it probably looks like it's not that much progress, it's taken a surprising amount of time to actually do. But it's getting there, and I'm pleased with the progress so far. I want to push on and get some of that finished, hopefully this summer. So that's the plan anyway. So yeah, let's have a quick look at that. So as you can see, probably looks to you like it's nothing, but to me it's taken a long time to get what was done in there done. And still lots more to do. And knowing I've got some travel coming up as well means I've kind of got myself a deadline as well to to progress on that, but really pleased with the progress so far. We're also doing some work elsewhere in the house as well. We're doing a little few pieces in in one of the other bedrooms. My wife's makeup studio at the front of the house, that's probably going to get started soon. I've been constantly thinking about completely redoing my Dan cave, as we'll say, which is where I'm sat. But that'll, still not 100% sure what I want to do with that. I have some ideas in mind. Some of the things I want to do in my practice on my wife's room. Certainly in terms of how I maybe want to make the desk I want. Yeah, not 100% sure on that front yet, but we'll think and we'll plan, as is always the case. But how's ever, yeah, so that's kind of where we are. So yeah, let's leave it at that. Video plans. The LFA video is in editing at the moment. Again, just lack of bench time, lack of modelling time. I've not really gotten to it yet. I do need a good sit down with myself and spend a good few hours, and I can try and get a part of that out in the next couple of weeks. But at least I'm getting to do the bench review, which I've not done one obviously for 2 months. So kind of glad to be back producing videos. So thank you everyone who's tuned in. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up as well. Really appreciate all the support I get. Comments are always welcome, as is always. And yeah, let's call it quits for this bench update. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all very, very soon in another video from the Dan Cave. So bye bye for now.